Jackson says, hi, Derek. Besides the energy and finance sectors, which other sectors will be more favorable? I don't know. Those are big ones. Energy is going to do good. Look, he wants to build out a stronger middle class. And if you do that, then what does the middle class spend money on? Are they geniuses? Are they going to build, they're going to buy, are they going to reinvest it in business infrastructure? No, other people will, but not them. So they're going to go buy consumer goods because that's what the middle class wants to do. That's what their value is they're consumers. If they had some extra money, they'd go spend it on stupid shit and make sure that they stay poor and middle class. If you gave them 20% more money, they would just spend it on discretionary stuff and they would stay poor and middle class. And they would do that till they're dead because that's why they're middle class. If they were smart enough to invest something, they'd be upper middle class or upper class in general. They're not. And they're going to buy consumer stuff. So, if you can provide, entertainment and products and services to those people, that's what they're going to buy. So, for me, that's the retailers. I'm like, all right. So these people make a little bit more money. They're going to go shop at my stores. I get paid. My stores are at my malls. The stores have to pay rent to my malls. I get paid again. So I get paid again. And I like that. And I get, dividends from the stores. I get distributions from the malls, and I get paid again. So I get paid in appreciation. I get paid in dividend. I get paid in, shareholder distribution or return of equity. So there's a lot of ways to get paid there. And I like it. So I do it that way. You could argue casinos could be the same thing. You could argue, a beer company or a liquor company or airlines are up. The airlines are up today, probably based on less regulation. So yeah, there's a lot of ways you could think about it. But yeah, there'll be plenty of opportunities. Killian says, I didn't understand the energy sector's reaction to the election. I expected more oil and natural gas stocks to fall or do less good with the expectation of falling energy prices driving down profitability. Well, I just explained that a little bit. Some of the production people, the stocks can go down. But if you own, pipelines, you might be transporting more stuff and make more money. So that's why energy transfer is at multi-year highs today. If you're in the exploration, stores phase of the supply chain where you go explore and build infrastructure, you can get paid to build infrastructure. You can get paid to move the oil and gas. And I agree that I think the energy prices, and I said this a minute ago, energy prices can go down, but you still make a lot of money in the energy sector, even with lower oil and gas prices that I would also anticipate. Matthew says, thank you for your time. What are your thoughts on using puts to control downside risk versus just buying more direct to DCA, a position? Beatdown boot camp was amazing. I don't like buying. I don't buy puts. I sell puts, and I don't buy a stock that I don't believe in. So I don't need to buy insurance on the stock. I'm buying insurance on my assets. Like insurance is for peasants and idiots. I don't buy insurance on stocks. I've almost never ever in my life bought a put, and when I do, I've regretted it. So it's just stupid. If you don't like the stock, sell it. If you don't think the stock's going to do good, sell it. If you're concerned about some, it might go down, blah blah blah. Yeah, it might. I don't know. If you're really concerned about it, trim your position and have liquidity available that if it goes down, you can buy more. But over time, if you just do nothing, if you bought something that you thought through and there was good reasons that you bought it, you'll tend to make a lot of money. So I don't insure my stocks ever. It makes no sense to me. But a lot of people do. If you're an anxious type person, oh my goodness, I need to limit my downside risk. All right, you're limiting your profits too. I'm not going to buy puts. I'll buy more stock. If it goes down, I'll buy more stock. But I'm not going to buy puts. I sell puts to people that are nervous. I made a lot of money doing that. Malik says, thank you, Derek, for all you do. Is one of your main reasons you like Kohl's their strong balance sheet, their current assets cover their current liabilities 4x over, and they don't take a lot of money to operate combined with their attractive PE ratio. Well, yeah, obviously I like all the things you just said. The PE ratio is like 7 right now. It's like 7x, $2.55 earnings. I said all this shit on a previous call. I said it in person talked about this in detail with the clients on Sunday. So I'm not really inclined to talk it through in a lot of detail again, because I don't need to keep repeating myself. And I don't care if you buy it or not, but I'll say one more time, bullet points is like it's trading for 7 times earnings, under $18, which is ridiculous. It's trading for, they have $2.55 earnings. They have a big footprint. They have 1,072 stores. About 900 of them have a Sephora inside, which brings in extra foot traffic. They want to build out Sephoras, and the other ones that don't currently have a Sephora, which will bring in extra foot traffic, and those ones too. They take returns from Amazon, which also brings in extra foot traffic. So they process those returns, brings more people in. They buy shit from Kohl's. The consumer at Kohl's tends to be lower income, Caucasian or Hispanic people. I've talked through in detail just on Sunday. You should have been there. If you weren't there, oh well. But you should have been there if you cared about all those details. Really, you should come to the live events, folks. So I'll say things on this call, but this doesn't have the same level of intimacy. And just frankly, I don't have the same level of engagement. When I talk to people on this call, I'm like, yeah, I'll come answer a few questions. I'll come say a few things that are inspirational. I'll tell you what to do to be there. But if you want to have the type of relationship that we're having a real conversation together, then show up in the room with me. Show up in the room with me. Show up with the other top clients. If you're not a top client, I kind of don't give a I don't care what you think. You're not even making the effort to show up to be with me and the other top clients. If you're just asking a random question here, I'll answer your question, but I'm not going to repeat myself for the second or third time, especially if I just said, I spent, I don't know, how long did I talk about Kohl's in detail the other day? Like 30 minutes?
At least, maybe more.
Like in detail, like every little detail that you're asking for. I spent 30 minutes. You want me to repeat 30 minutes? No. You should have showed up in person. You should have showed up in person with, dozens of other people that cared enough to fly from all around the world to show up in person. If you don't want to do that, oh well. Then I get on a call like this and I'm like, yeah, I bought more Kohls. Derek, explain in detail why you did that. Yeah, I don't feel like it. I just did that on Sunday for over 30 minutes in detail. And the whole crowd could ask me questions and we talked about it in more detail. So I don't mean to be rude to you, but I do mean to say that I am somewhat indifferent of if you're the people that are most serious, show up in person. And the people that are moderately serious, then they'll give you a moderate answer, and we'll move on to the next question. But I'd love it if it's important to you, show up in person. Those are the people that I take my time to answer things, fully, comprehensively. They can poke back and forth at me, and we have real conversations that are dynamic and exciting and very comprehensive. My friend Jim, he's from Germany. He's been a client for 10 years. And he came to one of those events. We had a late night conversation in the past about his portfolio. Came back and, 3 months later said he made 450,000 euros, $500,000 in 3 months based on that conversation. And, that conversation, it made me change a couple things in my portfolio. In that same time, he made more dramatic percentage changes, but in that same time, I made $2 million. In 3 months, I made $2 million because we had that conversation. He made another $500,000. And yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. When that was 4 a.m. or so, 4:30 in the morning we were talking. So I stay up late with the clients. We'd put in long days. Of course, I don't have the same engagement on a call like this. It's show up in person if you care. Happy to help. Happy to help. Sebastian says, good to see you, Derek, and thank you for putting together a great beatdown boot camp. I was wondering if you'd be able to give your perspective on both the stock market and real estate market with our new president in office and expected policies to take effect, such as tax cuts for businesses down to the individual level. Thanks in advance. Yeah, man. I touched on some of that here, but if you have lower taxes, I think lower taxes are great. I think you know what to do with your money better than the government does. When you give money to the government, they spend it on the stupidest shit that no individual would ever spend their money on. The government's not your friend. I don't think the government is your friend. I don't think the government is my friend. I think the government doesn't give a fuck about you or I. And the more they stay out of your life and the more you could be independent to take care of yourself, the better off you're going to be. Physically weak and mentally weak people that go to the government for, help me, steal something from the rich guy and give it to me for free. And when you do that in mass, then you destroy an economy. You don't have a real economy anymore. And, because pretty soon you're the richest guy left. And there's people even dumber than you that they want the government to steal from you and give it to them now. So that's a bankrupt philosophy of, redistributing wealth in those type of ways is truly a bankrupt philosophy. It's immoral. It's not right. And all that said, all those negative things, I don't mind at all paying to have good roads. I like having nice roads. If I pay a gasoline tax, then that's proportional. I drive more. I use the roads more. I should pay more tax to use the roads. No problem. I don't mind paying for good quality schools, real education. But yeah, man, I don't mind. I don't mind paying for police. I like paying for police. I like paying for police so I can wear nice jewelry and I can be out in a Rolls Royce. I can be out, go to the airport reliably and fly first class, and up shit doesn't happen. So I'm happy to pay for, safety and security, pay for the police, pay to have the best military in the world. I'm happy to pay for all those things. I don't mind paying taxes. I just don't want it to be spent on stupid shit. So there's a lot of stupid shit that could get cut out. I think Elon's pretty serious about it. They're going to strip away, many layers, I hope, but a few layers of the stupidity. So, we're actually buying something for our tax dollars. And I don't mind paying taxes if we're buying something useful, if we have safety and security, we have real education that our children can read and do math and understand science. Great. Love it. I don't mind paying, my fair share, whatever the politicians decide is the correct amount to extort me for. I won't feel bad about it, but I don't want to be spent on stupid shit. So just things that are going to be good for the long term of the country, good for you as an individual, and again, good for the long term, good for the future. You watch this video all the way through, and that tells me you're dedicated to learning more and earning far above average outcomes in your life. Congratulations for that. But now it's time to take action. If you could have earned those results by yourself, you would have done it already. My head coach has opened up a few spots on his high-demand calendar for an in-person, one-on-one strategy session to help you. On this call, we'll give you the pragmatic advice that you can implement tonight to get laser-focused on the right metrics and leave mediocrity far behind in your past. Click that link right now in the description below and apply for your call immediately. Do it now.